Hey, English learners, welcome back to the Monkey Podcast, your English podcast for daily life English, real conversations, and easy English listening practice. Yeah, this is the place where you learn real English from real talk, not from boring grammar books. I'm Alex.
And I'm Mike.
So, Mike, can I ask you something personal?
Uh-oh. Okay.
What is it? Have you ever had a big argument with someone you love?
Oh, yes. Many times.
Too many times, actually. And did you win?
That's interesting. I thought I won, but
what?
But after the argument, I felt terrible, and the other person felt terrible too.
Exactly. So did you really win?
No, I guess not. And honestly, Alex, sometimes I felt like I won the battle, but lost the person.
Ooh, that's deep. That's exactly what we need to talk about.
So today we're talking about arguments?
Yes, how to win arguments.
But Alex, wait. You just said winning makes everyone feel bad.
Yes, so maybe we need to change what winning means.
Ooh, I like where this is going. This feels important.
It is, because most people are terrible at arguing.
Including us sometimes.
Yes, including us, but we're learning. And today we want to share what we learned with you.
Okay, let's stop the small talk and get into something important.
Yes, but first, a small favor for our listeners.
Yeah, if you like this episode, please hit the like button, subscribe, and share it with that friend who loves to argue.
We all know someone like that. Maybe that uncle at family dinners.
Yes, or that coworker who debates everything.
Sometimes it's us. We are that person.
Guilty. Okay, so Alex, let me ask the big question. What does it really mean to win an argument?
Great question. Most people think winning means the other person says, okay, you're right, I'm wrong, you win.
Yeah, like a victory, like a game.
But that's not winning. That's just making someone feel defeated and small.
So what is winning?
Winning is when both people understand each other better, when you solve the problem together, when the relationship gets stronger, not weaker.
So it's not about being right, it's about being connected.
Exactly. It's about connection, not correction.
Ooh, that's a good phrase. Connection, not correction.
Thanks.
But that's hard, Alex, because when I'm arguing, I really want to be right.
I know, we all do. It's human nature.
So how do we change that?
We need to change our goal. Think about it differently.
Okay, help me understand.
Let me give you a picture. Think about two people building a bridge together.
Building a bridge.
Yes, an argument is like you're on one side of the river and the other person is on the other side.
Okay, I see it.
Most people think the goal is to pull the other person to your side.
Right, to win them over, to make them come to me.
But the real goal is to build a bridge so you can meet in the middle.
That's different. That's collaboration.
Yes, very different. And today, we're going to teach you how to build that bridge.
Listeners, we have 5 powerful tips today.
Yes, these tips can change your relationships at work, at home, with friends, with family.
They changed ours. They really did.
So let's start. Alex, what is tip number 1?
Tip number 1. Cool down before you speak.
Cool down first.
Yes. Think of anger like a fire inside your chest.
A fire, okay.
When you're angry, you have a big fire inside. It's burning, it's hot. And when you speak from that fire, what comes out?
Hot words, dangerous words, words that burn.
Exactly. You say things you don't mean. You hurt people. You make everything worse.
I know that feeling. I've said things in anger that I regretted immediately.
We all have. That's why this tip is number 1. It's the most important.
So before you speak, you must put water on that fire.
How do we do that? Take a breath. Count to 10. Walk away for 5 minutes. Drink water. Wait until the fire gets smaller.
But Alex, what if the other person is yelling at you right now? What if they're angry and they want an answer now?
Good question. That's very hard. That's the hardest situation.
Yes, so what do we do?
You say calmly, I hear you. This is important, but I need a few minutes to think. Can we continue this conversation in 10 minutes?
So you're not running away, you're just pausing.
Exactly.
You're taking a time out, like in a sports game. But what if they say no? What if they say, we need to talk now? Then you have to make a choice. You can say, okay, but I need to be honest. I'm very upset right now. I might say things I don't mean. Are you okay with that? Ooh, that's smart. You're warning them.
Yes, and usually when you say that, they calm down a bit too.
Because you're being honest and vulnerable.
Exactly. But here's the truth, Mike. If you yell back when someone yells at you, you just make the fire bigger.
2 fires.
Yes, 2 fires. And then everything burns. The relationship burns.
That's a scary picture.
But it's true. Let me tell you a story. Please, yes, stories help us remember. 2 months ago, my brother called me. He was very angry. He said I forgot his birthday.
Oh no, that's bad.
He was yelling on the phone. You never care about me. You're selfish. You only think about yourself. I'm always the one who remembers.
Those are hard words.
Very hard. Every word was like a knife, and I felt my fire starting. I wanted to yell back. I've been so busy. You don't understand my life. You're so sensitive.
That's natural. That's what most people would do.
Yes, but I remembered, don't speak from the fire.
So what did you do?
I said, I hear you're upset. This is important. Can I call you back in 10 minutes? You walked away from the fire. Yes. He said, fine, and hung up. I could hear he was still angry.
And what did you do in those 10 minutes?
I hung up. I took some deep breaths. I went outside. I walked around my building.
And did the fire get smaller?
Yes. After 10 minutes, I was calm. I could think clearly. I realized he's right. I forgot. He has every right to be upset.
So you called him back?
Yes, I called him back. I said, you're right. I forgot. I'm really sorry. There's no excuse. You're important to me, and I should have remembered.
And how did he respond?
He was still hurt, but he calmed down too. He said, I felt like you didn't care.
Ah, so that was the real feeling, not anger, hurt.
Exactly. And we talked. We solved it. I apologized properly. We made a plan so I wouldn't forget next year.
So you won because you waited.
Exactly. If I spoke from the fire, we would have fought for hours. We might have said terrible things. We might have damaged our relationship.
But because you cooled down, you saved it.
Yes. Listeners, remember this. Calm people win arguments. Angry people just fight and break things. That's powerful. That's really powerful. What's tip number 2? Tip number 2, listen like a mirror.
Listen like a mirror. That's interesting.
Yes, think about looking in a mirror.
Okay, I'm thinking.
When you stand in front of a mirror, what does the mirror do?
It shows me.
Exactly. The mirror doesn't argue with you. It doesn't say, no, you're wrong, that's not what you look like. It just reflects what you show it.
So we should be like mirrors when someone is talking.
Yes, most people don't listen. They just wait for their turn to talk.
That's true. I do that sometimes.
We all do. While the other person is speaking, they're thinking, what will I say next? How will I prove I'm right? What's my counterargument?
They're not really listening. They're preparing to attack.
Exactly. And the other person can feel that. They can feel you're not really hearing them. So how do we listen like a mirror? You let the person finish. You don't interrupt. You watch their face. You listen to their words. And then you say back what you heard.
Say it back.
Yes. For example, the person says, I'm upset because you're always late.
Okay.
Most people say, I'm not always late. Last week I was on time. You're exaggerating.
Yes, that's exactly what I do.
Me too. That's the natural response, but that's defensive.
Right.
But a mirror says, so you feel upset when I'm late. You feel like I don't respect your time.
Oh, that's different. That's not defensive at all.
Very different. You're showing them, I heard you. I understand your feeling. Even if you don't agree. Exactly. You don't have to agree to understand. You don't have to think they're right to show you heard them.
That's powerful.
Does it really work? Always. When people feel heard, they relax. Because they don't have to fight to make you listen. Exactly. Do you want to hear a story? Yes, please. Last year, I had a big argument with my best friend.
What happened?
We were planning a trip together. I wanted to go to the beach, he wanted to go to the mountains.
Classic problem.
Yes, and we argued for 20 minutes. I kept saying the beach is better, the beach is relaxing, we can swim, we can lie in the sun. He kept saying the mountains are better, fresh air, beautiful views, hiking. 2 fires, nobody listening. Exactly. We were just yelling our opinions at each other, like throwing balls at each other.
That's a good picture.
Yes, and after 20 minutes, we were both exhausted and annoyed.
And you still hadn't decided?
No, we were exactly where we started, maybe even further apart. So what changed? Finally, I stopped. I took a breath. I said, wait, let me try something different. Tell me why the mountains are important to you. I want to understand.
You asked him.
Yes, I stopped arguing and started asking.
And what did he say?
He stopped too. He looked surprised. Then he said, my father used to take me to the mountains when I was young. Every summer, we would hike together. It was our special time. He died 3 years ago. When I'm in the mountains, I feel close to him.
Oh, that's deep. That's beautiful and sad.
Yes. And when I heard that, everything changed. My whole body relaxed.
Because you understood the root.
Exactly. It wasn't about mountains versus beach. It was about his father, about memory, about love.
Wow.
I said, so the mountains remind you of your father. That's meaningful for you. That's important.
You mirrored him.
Yes. And you know what happened?
What?
He felt understood too. His shoulders dropped. And then he asked me, why do you want the beach?
And you told him.
Yes. I said, I've been so stressed with work. My brain is so busy all the time. I need to hear the ocean, to feel that peace, to just stop thinking.
And what did you decide?
We went to the mountains, but we found a place near a lake. It had water and mountains.
Perfect compromise.
Yes, but Mike, listen. That compromise only happened because we listened to each other.
You mirrored first.
Yes. If we just kept yelling about beach and mountains, we'd still be fighting today. Maybe we wouldn't even be friends anymore.
Listeners, be a mirror first. Understand first, then speak.
Yes, you'll be amazed how arguments disappear when people feel heard. It's like magic. It really is. Okay, what's tip number 3? Tip number 3, use I feel, not you always. I feel, not you always. Yes, this is huge. Think about building a wall with bricks.
A wall?
When you say you always or you never, you're throwing bricks at the other person.
Ooh, that's a strong picture. I can visualize that.
Yes, you always forget. Brick. You never listen. Brick. You're so selfish. Brick. Each sentence is a brick hitting them.
And what do?
They put up a wall to protect themselves.
To defend. Exactly. They stop listening. They just defend and attack back. So what should we say instead? Use I feel. Say I feel sad when you forget. I feel unheard when you're on your phone. I feel worried when you come home late. So you're talking about yourself, not attacking them. Yes, you're opening the door, not throwing bricks. You're being vulnerable instead of being aggressive. That's beautiful. But Alex, isn't being vulnerable scary? Very scary. It's much easier to attack than to be vulnerable. So why should we do it? Because it works, and because it's true. When you say you always, you're making an accusation. When you say I feel, you're sharing your heart. And people can't argue with your feelings. Exactly. If I say you always ignore me, you can say that's not true. But if I say I feel ignored, you can't say no you don't. Right, because it's my feeling. Yes, it's your truth. Okay, show me the difference with an example. Sure, imagine your partner is always on their phone during dinner. Okay, I'm imagining. I can really imagine this. I thought you might. So if you say you always ignore me, you never put your phone down, you don't care about me, you love your phone more than me. That's a lot of bricks. That's building a whole wall. Yes. How does the person feel? Attacked. Defensive. Probably angry. Right. They'll say, that's not true. I'm not always on my phone. You're exaggerating. You're so dramatic. And now you're fighting about who's exaggerating instead of solving the real problem. Exactly. You're fighting about the words instead of the feeling. So what's the better way? You say, I feel lonely when we don't talk during dinner. I miss connecting with you. I feel like we're in the same room but not together. Oh, that's so much softer. That's gentle. Yes, and the person might say, oh, I didn't realize you felt that way. I'm sorry. Let me put my phone away. Because you opened the door instead of throwing bricks. Exactly. You invited them to understand you, not to defend themselves. Alex, do you use this in your life, or is this just theory? I try. I'm not perfect. I still throw bricks sometimes, but yes, I use this a lot now. Tell us a story. Okay, my roommate used to leave dishes in the sink for days. Oh, that's annoying. I hate that. Very annoying. And every time I saw those dishes, I felt angry. The anger built up. What did you do at first? At first, I said things like, you never clean. You're so lazy. Why do I always have to clean up after you? You don't respect our home. Throwing big bricks. Yes, very big bricks. And he got defensive. He said, I'm busy. I work too. Stop nagging me. You're not my mother. The wall went up. Exactly. And then we weren't just roommates, we were enemies.
That's sad. Yes, we had the same fight every week for 2 months. Nothing changed. Just more walls, more bricks, more anger. That sounds exhausting. It was. I was tired of being angry. So then I changed my approach. How? One day, I sat with him calmly. No anger. I said, hey, can I share something? When I see dirty dishes in the sink, I feel stressed. I feel like our home is messy and it's hard for me to relax. I know you're busy. I'm not saying you're a bad person. I'm just sharing how I feel. You used I feel. Yes, and you know what he said?
What?
He said, oh, I didn't know it bothered you that much. I thought you were just, I don't know, being picky. I'm sorry. I'll try to do better. Just like that? Just like that. Because I didn't attack him. I didn't call him lazy or disrespectful. I just shared my feelings.
And did he change?
Not perfectly. He's still human. He still forgets sometimes. But it got so much better, like 80% better.
That's huge.
Yes, and when he forgets, I don't yell anymore. I just say, hey, the sink is getting full. It stresses me out. Can you wash those? And he listens. Yes, because there's no wall between us anymore. We're friends again. Listeners, remember, I feel opens doors. You always builds walls. Choose your words carefully. That's a great tip. What's number 4? Tip number 4. Find the root, not just the fruit. The root, not the fruit? I need you to explain this one.
Yes, think about a tree with apples.
A tree? Okay.
When you see an apple on a tree, you're seeing the fruit. It's on top. It's visible.
Right. The fruit is what we see.
But the fruit comes from the roots underground. The roots are hidden, but they're the real source of the fruit.
Ah, I think I understand. The roots are the cause.
Exactly. Arguments are the same. What you're fighting about, that's just the fruit. The real problem is the root.
Can you give an example? Because this sounds important.
Sure. A couple fights because he comes home late from work every day.
Okay.
Every night they have the same argument. Why are you late again? I was working. You're always late. My job is demanding.
Fighting about being late.
Yes, that's the fruit. But what's the root?
Maybe she feels unimportant?
Yes, maybe the root is I feel like you don't prioritize me, or I feel lonely in the evenings, or I feel like your job is more important than our relationship. So being late is just the symptom, the fruit.
Exactly. If they only talk about being late, about time and minutes and schedules, they'll never solve the real problem.
Because the real problem is feeling unimportant.
Yes, and once you find out root, you can actually solve it. Maybe he can't come home earlier, but he can call her during his break. Or they can have a special date night once a week. Or he can explain why this busy season is temporary.
So you solve the feeling, not just the behavior.
Exactly. Most arguments are like this. You fight about small things on the surface, but the real issue is deeper. So how do we find the root? You ask, why does this bother me so much? Or, what am I really feeling underneath the anger?
Go deeper.
Yes, go beneath the surface. Usually, anger is just a mask.
A mask?
Yes, under anger, there's usually hurt, fear, sadness, or feeling unimportant.
So we need to find what's under the mask.
Exactly. Mike, do you have a personal example of this?
Actually, yes. Last year, my brother and I fought about our mother. About your mother. Yes, she's getting older, she needs more help, and I felt like I was doing everything, taking her to doctor appointments, helping with groceries, fixing things in her house. And your brother wasn't helping. Not as much, so I was angry at him.
What did you say?
I said things like, "You never help. I'm doing everything. You don't care about mom." Brute level. Exactly. And he said, "I'm busy. I have kids. I help when I can."
And you kept fighting.
Yes, every time we talked, we fought about who was doing more. It was exhausting.
So what was the root?
One day, I asked myself, why am I so angry? Is it really about driving mom to the doctor?
And?
And I realized I was scared.
Scared.
Yes, scared that mom was getting older, scared that I might lose her, and I felt alone in that fear. I felt like I was carrying that fear by myself.
Oh, that's the root.
Yes, so I called my brother. I didn't yell this time. I said, "I'm scared about mom. She's getting older. I feel alone with this feeling. I need you with me in this."
You went to the root.
Yes, and he was quiet for a moment. Then he said, "I'm scared too. I don't know what to do, so I avoid it."
Wow.
Yes, and suddenly we weren't fighting anymore. We were brothers again, scared together, because you found the root. Exactly. After that, he started helping more, not because I yelled at him, but because we shared the real feeling. Listeners, when you argue, ask yourself, am I fighting about fruit or root? The fruit is surface. The root is truth. Yes, find the real problem and you can solve it. If you stay at the fruit level, you'll argue forever. Beautiful. Okay, what's the fifth tip? Tip number 5, know when to let go. Let go. Yes, think about holding sand in your hand. Sand in my hand. You make a fist to hold the sand tight, but what happens?
The sand falls through my fingers.
Exactly. The tighter you hold, the more you lose.
So we should let go sometimes?
Sometimes, yes. Not every argument needs to be won. Not every disagreement needs to be solved right now.
But Alex, isn't that giving up? Isn't that being weak?
No, letting go is not giving up. It's being wise. It's being strong enough to choose peace.
Tell me more. I need to understand this better.
Some arguments are important. They matter for the relationship. You should work on those. You should fight for those.
Like the money example I told about my brother and mom.
Yes, that was important. You needed to solve it.
Okay.
But some arguments are small. They don't really matter in the big picture. And if you fight over every small thing, you'll destroy the relationship.
So we pick our battles.
Exactly. You ask yourself, will this matter in 1 year, in 1 week, tomorrow morning? If the answer is no, let it go. Release the sand.
Can you give an example?
Sure. Last week, my friend and I were choosing a restaurant for dinner.
Okay.
I wanted Italian food. I really wanted pasta. He wanted Chinese food. Classic small disagreement. Yes, and I could feel myself wanting to argue. I could feel the words coming. Italian is better. I really want pasta. We had Chinese last time.
Yes.
But then I stopped and thought, will this matter tomorrow? And the answer was no. No. In 24 hours, I won't even remember what I ate.
So what did you do?
I said, okay, Chinese sounds good. You let go. Yes, we had a nice dinner. We laughed, we told stories, we enjoyed each other's company.
And if you had argued?
We would have wasted 20 minutes fighting. We'd both feel annoyed, and the food wouldn't taste good anyway because we'd be upset.
So you chose peace over being right.
Exactly. And you know what? The Chinese food was delicious.
See? Sometimes surrendering is winning.
Yes, sometimes the relationship is more important than the argument. That's mature, Alex. Thank you, but I didn't always know this. Tell us, because I think many people struggle with this. Yes, when I was younger, I argued about everything, every tiny thing, every detail. Everything? Everything. If someone said the sky was blue, I'd say, actually, it's more cyan or azure, depending on the time of day and atmospheric conditions. Oh no, that's too much. I know. I was insufferable. I thought being right made me smart and strong and important.
But what happened? People stopped wanting to be around me. I noticed friends stopped inviting me places. Really? Yes. And I didn't understand why. I thought, I'm smart. I know a lot. Why don't people like me? Oh, Alex. I know. It was blind. Then one day, my best friend said to me, Alex, why do you have to be right all the time? It's exhausting. I can't even have a simple conversation with you.
Ouch.
Yes, it hurt so much. But it was true. It was exactly what I needed to hear.
So you changed.
I had to. I realized I was winning arguments, but losing friends. I was being right, but being alone.
Winning battles but losing the war.
Exactly. So I started asking myself before every disagreement, is this worth it? Will this matter? Or should I let it go?
And your relationships got better.
So much better. Now I have deep friendships, real friendships, because people feel safe with me. They know I won't fight over every little thing.
So letting go is actually a strength, not a weakness.
Yes, it takes a strong person to say, you know what? This doesn't matter. I choose you over being right.
Listeners, being right is nice, but being loved is better. Being right is temporary, but relationships last forever.
Yes, learn to let go. It's a superpower. Most people never learn it. And the people who do learn it have better marriages, better friendships, better families. Absolutely. Okay, Mike, I think we need to review some important words from today.
Good idea. Let's do our vocabulary tour. We've used a lot of interesting words.
Vocabulary tour. I like that name. Okay, first word, argument.
Yes, an argument is when two people disagree and they discuss it, sometimes with strong feelings or raised voices.
For example, we had an argument about money last night. Or, I don't like arguments, but sometimes they're necessary.
Next word, cool down.
Cool down means to become calm after being angry or upset, to lower your emotional temperature. For example, I need to cool down before we talk about this. Or, let's both take a walk to cool down. We said mirror. Yes, mirror means to reflect or show back what someone is saying or feeling, to repeat it so they feel understood.
For example, I tried to mirror his feelings so he felt heard.
Or, good listeners mirror what they hear instead of immediately responding.
Then we had the word defensive.
Yes, defensive means protecting yourself from criticism, often by arguing back or making excuses.
For example, he got defensive when I criticized him. Or, try not to be defensive. I'm just sharing my feelings. We talked about compromise.
Ah, yes. Compromise is when both people give up something small to reach an agreement together.
For example, we found a compromise. I got some of what I wanted, and she got some too.
Or, healthy relationships need compromise, not one person always winning.
Beautiful word. We also said root.
Yes, root is the deep hidden cause of something, the real reason underneath.
For example, we need to find the root of this problem, not just the surface fruit.
Or, the root of our argument was fear, not anger. Fear was hiding under the anger.
Then we used the phrase let go.
Let go means to stop holding on to something tightly, to release it, to surrender it.
For example, I decided to let go of that argument. It wasn't important enough.
Or, sometimes you need to let go to find peace.
We said priority too.
Yes, priority is something that is most important to you, what you put first.
For example, my family is my top priority, more important than work.
Or we have different priorities, and that's okay. We can still love each other.
And one last important word, mature.
Yes, mature means grown up, wise, able to handle difficult situations calmly and thoughtfully.
For example, it's mature to apologize when you're wrong.
Or he handled that argument in a very mature way. No yelling, no insults.
If you want to practice, choose one of these words and make your own sentence.
Write it in the comments below.
Yes, that will help you remember. Practice makes permanent.
Okay, so what should our listeners do after this episode? What's the homework?
Let's give them action steps they can do today.
Good idea. Step 1. Think about your last argument. Did you speak from fire or from calm? Be honest. Step 2. Next time someone talks to you about a problem, try to mirror them. Say back what you heard before you respond.
Step 3. Practice using I feel instead of you always, even once this week. Just try it once and see what happens.
Step 4. Ask yourself in your next disagreement, what's the root here? What am I really upset about? What's under my anger?
And step 5. Choose one small argument to let go. Just one. See how it feels. Notice what happens to the relationship.
Yes, these small steps can change everything, one step at a time.
Okay, Alex, let's recap our 5 tips so people remember them. Perfect. Tip 1. Cool down before you speak. Put water on the fire. Wait until you're calm. Tip 2. Listen like a mirror. Show them you understand before you respond. Tip 3. Use I feel, not you always. Open doors, don't throw bricks. Tip 4. Find the root, not just the fruit. Go deeper to the real problem underneath. Tip 5. Know when to let go. Some arguments aren't worth the damage to the relationship. Those 5 tips are gold, pure gold. Yes, if you use them, your relationships will transform. Your marriage, your family, your friendships, everything.
But only if you practice them.
Yes, practice. Knowledge without action is just information. You must do it.
So true.
Okay, listeners, it's your turn now. Yes, question for you. What's the hardest part of arguing for you? Getting angry? Not listening? Being defensive? Needing to be right? Write your answer in the comments. Be honest. Your honesty might help someone else feel less alone. And if this episode helped you, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs better communication skills. Maybe that family member you always fight with. Yes, or that friend who always has to win. Send him this episode. It might change everything. It might save a relationship. Yes. Thank you so much for being here with us today, for spending your time with us. We're grateful for you. We really are. This was the Monkey Podcast with Alex and Mike. Until next time, argue less, understand more. And remember, the best argument is the one you don't need to have. The best victory is peace. Take care of your relationships, everyone. Bye, everyone. Bye-bye. Take care.
Your progress doesn't end here. To continue advancing your English skills, click on the next video or explore the additional videos we've thoughtfully selected for you.